Good afternoon to all. Hi, this is Professor J.N. Khanduja from ELSE Institute of Technology. Welcome to the Active Learning Video Lecture Communication. Today I would like to cover the triple E subject, triple E topic, that is on safety and protection. I hope this will be a good journey for us. Let's go. First of all, we'll go with the flow of presentation. In flow of presentation, we have introduction and overview. The topic is safety. Then we'll go with the electrical shocks, first aid for the same, safety rule, use of the multimeter, grounding, importance of the same, types of the same, and how to do the equipment grounding. Then the circuit protection, equipments or the things which we are going to use for that particular, like MCB fuses, and the references are there. When we go with the introduction and overview, safety is a simple word, but the criticality is much more there. So we'll come to know that everything is required to have a safety view, and we must have the knowledge or the importance with respect to that one, that how that safety will be there or we can achieve that safety. Let's go with the electrical safety. So electricity, or the things without the electricity we cannot image for the human life, but at the same time the electricity is very much important and dangerous can be there. So the safety is very much important. The safety in point of view, our electricity can cause the shock, it can burns, or will result into the fire. We think we can take the things very casually, but even a 9-volt battery, can cause the mild shock if we are not going to use it properly or we are not having the knowledge of the same. With that one, let's start with the shocks. What is the electrical shock? So first of all, let's understand the criticality of the same. Electrical shock can kill, and hence it can cause the damage, and we have to be alert for the safety point of view. As we know, with respect to the Ohm's law, Kirchhoff's current and voltage law, which are very fundamental with respect to electrical engineering, that current always flow through the closed path of the given circuit, and when human is going to come in contact with the live part, that closed path is going to be done with the human, and that's where the body is going to feel the shock, which is the electrical shock. Now the same current is going to pass from the body of the human, so it can damage the various parts of the body, or it can damage or create some fatality to the organs, which can stop the working or might cause the death in that case. Let's concentrate on to the diagram, and in that diagram one person is there or one thing is there which is right now showing that what it touched the live wire, or it has some fault is there. That person or human is not caring about the same, and what he did, the current is going to pass through that human body. The figure is showing that round about the 3 kilo ohm the body resistance is there. It can vary from the 1k to the 6k, and what that path is going to complete to the earth or from that particular wire. In that case, our human or the body will come into the contact of that particular, and we might feel a shock in that case. One animation is there resulting of the same. Now that animation is showing that some malfunctioning of the equipment is over there, and some socket or plugs are not working properly over here, so we might feel the shock, and that shock is going to be the grounded. So this all are the causes are there which can damage if ratings of the equipments or the working environment is higher. So in that case we have to be aware, we have to solve that one, or we come to know that we have to have the knowledge how to overcome that one. One table which shows that sometimes we understand that these things are very casual, it cannot hurt, but yes, if the small things are going to cause the bigger problem later on, so let's keep it into the mind. If 1 milliampere current is there, it calls the, or it recognizes as the leakage current. As the intensity of the same is going to increase, what happened, the problems or effect of the same are going to more. 2 to 3 milliamps, it can feel a shock to us, which we have the field at some time. More than 10 milliamps, it can have the painful shock, we have a jerk and we can take our hand or our part away from that particular live things. 15 to 13 milliamps, one can have the problems into the muscles. More than 30 milliamps, it can cause the breathing difficulties 70 to 200 milliamps, we can have a death, or one can have a death by the ventricular fibrillation. And more than 20 milliamps, the heart can stop work, or it can be the restart the heart. So these all problems can be there. The figures can be changed according to the various norms. When these shocks are going to be there with us, or we know that such things may happen with us, how to overcome that things, or when it happens, what should be the treatment can be given to the sufferer or the injured person. So that is called the first aid. In routine life, we have gone through the lots of things regarding to the first aid, so we all are aware of that one, all these things. Still, let's go with the first aid for the electrical shocks. Now, electrical shocks probably can cause the problems which have the mild shocking sensation. It can cause the interference with the muscular functions. Breathing problem can be there. Heartbeats are going to be changed or maybe irregular. It can cause the burn. The person or human can feel the unconsciousness. At the same time, last but not the least, and that we don't want that, it can cause the death. Suppose if all things are going to happen, what we can take care about at the same time till the some survival things or the medical treatments are going to reach up to that place. So in that, as a human, we can help the person who is into the pain at that particular moment. That is called the first aid. So if it is there, or we suspecting that there is the case of the electrical shock, it is very necessary to provide the first aid to that particular person at the earliest. Now, at our end, what we can do, few simple steps are there that we can achieve. The first is that if the main supply is still there on, we can turn off the main supply. Otherwise, what happened? Our body is also going to come into contact with the sufferer. We might feel the shock, or the helping person might feel the shock. Second one is the remove that person away from that particular place or that wires. Mind well, do not touch directly. We can make the dry loop of the cloth around the same to help the person, or any insulating thing with the help of which we can do it. After doing the same, we have to check whether the heartbeat and the breathing of that person is proper or not. Same time, we can check the chest also, neck also, wrist also, to make the assurance of the same. In case if breathing at the heartbeat is not there, or if they are stopped, the victim need to that cardiological or the cardiopulmonary resuscitation. If the heartbeat is working properly but no breathing sign is there, one can do the artificial breathing of the same. At the same time, let's check whether burning injuries or burn spots are there or not. If it is there, let's do the treatment of the same. Later on into the session, we'll look at that also. If the sufferer is breathing, put him or her or that person into the recovery mode, which the picture will show on into the next slide. In case of the irregular heartbeat, call the doctor immediately for the better option. Otherwise also we have to call the doctor. Now, what is the cardiopulmonary? That is recovery is there. Now, it's a mouth to mouth rescue for the breathing purpose, and at the same time it includes the chest compression. What it do actually do that, what is the oxygen required through the blood for the vital organs, it will keeps on doing for the life of that particular human. How to do it? First one, let's lay down the victim or sufferer onto the backside, and mind well, the spot or that place should be the flat one. Second, open the victim's mouth and pass the air, lifting the chin forward. One can also pinch the nose and breathe into the mouth. These are the very few and simple steps before the doctor can or medical treatment can reach at that place. The picture is showing the same thing what we are discussing about the same, right? Put that first one into the flat surface. Let's hold the chin up into that one, close that particular nose or that particular organ, then mouth to mouth refrigeration, that particular procedure is there, circulation can be done. Last one is there, if victim still does not show the sign of that particular heartbeat, let's start the chest compression. In the end, let's call the medical treatment or the doctor at the same place. In case we find there is the treatment or the burns are there, how to do the treatment of the same? Now the electricity when pass from the one place, it will enter and exist from the another place, so it is going to create the holes into that one, what we call the burn injuries are going to be there. The burns are very dangerous, as all we know. They are the three categories of the burns: first degree, second degree and the third degree burns are going to be there. Now first, and as we know, first, second, third, so third one is the more critical or the most critical one among all these things. When we have the sign of the burns, how to do it? So for the first and the second degree of the burn, simple, hold the burn area and put it into the cold water, under the cold water for 5 to 10 minutes, and then we can apply the suitable antibiotic into that area. Cover that burn area with the sterilized gauze bandage. Avoid putting pressure onto the skin, otherwise the bleeding problem can be there. Give the pain relief in case required, and don't break that blisters which are going to be the form due to the burning skin. Third degree burns are very critical, and we have to go with the medical treatment, but at the primary stage, what? Ensure that victim is not in contact with the heating material, otherwise burning criticality severity will increase. At the same time, don't remove the clothes. The second one, if breathing is stopped, do not do the cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Cover the burn area with the cool bandage and the clean cloth. Now these are the some first aid what we can do. Next one, let's go with the safety rules. Safety is very important, as we have discussed, so safety rules are very critical. So we generally, all people related to the engineering, they work into the laboratory or the workspace, so the safety will become criticality into that one, because by doing the work will come into the contact or into the various electrical equipments which may have the low voltage rating, medium voltage rating or the high voltage or the power rating. So the knowledge or the information for the same is very much important. The general rule for the safety measures, and they are: wear the shoes at all the time. So it automatically it is going to provide one insulation with respect to ground, and electric shocks are going to reduce. Same time, if some heavy equipment is going to fall, at that time our feet are also going to be protected with the same. Second one, all the electrical outlet, they are properly earthed. Later on we'll go with the earthing and the importance of the earthing, but earthing is the method with which we can make the fault current at the ground, or the safety is going to be there. Third one, the power cords which we are going to use, their insulation means their conditions are going to be, must be the good one. Extension must be avoided. More and more extensions are there, more and more there is the chance of the loose connections, opening of the wire, more and more chance for the hazards is going to be there. Next one is also very much good and important, that avoid using more than one high rating equipment at the same outlet or plug at point, what we are calling it. More equipments into the same one with the help of above one, means with the help of extension cord, it can create the load and the heating problem at the same point, which will result into the electrical hazards. Next is the use proper protective device. Again, the later on we are going to go into the detail of this particular fuse, relays, circuit breakers. They all are the protective device which will protect our circuitry or the equipments. Avoid direct and indirect contact with the live electric points. We have to have aware that we don't come in contact with the live wires or live points. Inflammable material use must be avoided, because it simply or easily can make the things very much unfavorable. Long and the loose clothes, ties, all that things are going to avoid if particularly we are going to work onto the machinery, because it can create the accident into that case. Let's make the habit, when we are making the measurement, try to use only the one hand at a time, so our focus will be there and our another part is not going to touch with the live circuitry. After doing all that things, what we have to do? Always check whether power switch is turned off or not. Otherwise the next fellow or the next person may not know, and it can create the problem for the next follower. Last but not the least, what we can do? If nothing is understandable for that particular laboratory or the equipment, the best thing is to contact the instructor and ask that particular instructor whether we can do it or not properly, or what are the safety measures for the same. Multimeter. What is the use of the multimeter? At this stage we all are very familiar with the multimeter with respect to laboratory uses. So multimeter is the instrument with the help of which we can measure the various quantities, and that various quantities with respect to the electrical engineering or electrical side, that are the voltage, current, resistance, frequency, etc. we can use. It can measure AC quantity as well as the DC quantity. Later on into the figure we'll go and we'll check how we can do it. As it can measure the voltage and the resistance, it is also known as the multi-tester. So multi-testers means we can use the different numbers of the parameters we can check, we can use. Also known as the VOM, that is the volt ohm meter. Multimeter is easy to use. Have the two probes, let's connect that two probes and the measure the same, whatever the quantity we want to measure.